I'm glad your delivery wasn't delivered by this guy. When he was about to deliver, he suddenly became a soccer player. A precise shot directly to the customer's doorstep. The man disguised as a courier is really called Draken. He is an ace-animal detective in the police department, specializing in dealing with animals of all sizes. He specializes in dealing with all kinds of lost animals and theft cases. On this day, Dragon received a new case. The mascot of the famous football team Dolphins, Snowflake the Dolphin, had disappeared. As the big game approached, the Dolphins lost their mascot, so the owner of the team sent the team's female agent, Matisha, to Dragon. Dragon was asked to help find Snowflake the Dolphin. He found a ruby the size of a grain of sesame seed in the drain filter of the pool. He found a ruby the size of a sesame seed in the drain filter of the sink. The person who stole the dolphin snowflake. The person who stole the dolphin snowflake is probably one of the retired champion players of the dolphin team. Dragon asked an acquaintance to access the records of transactions on the black market of the sea. He found out that one of the retired players is now a rich man and has a hobby of collecting rare fish. Coincidentally, this rich man just bought a huge fish tank a few days ago, so he is the most suspicious. So Dragon brought the Dolphins' female manager, Matisse, as his date. We went to the rich man's party to investigate. We successfully entered the room where the tycoon kept his fish collection. There was a huge fish tank inside. Snowflake, the dolphin, was in there. He lured the dolphin with a small fish. Instead, he attracted a great white shark. Before leaving, Dragon shook hands with the tycoon and said goodbye. In fact, he wanted to see if there was a ruby missing from the ring. It turned out that the rich man was not the suspect of the dolphin theft. Will risked her life to wrestle with a retired champion dolphin football player just to get a closer look at his hand, just to get a closer look at his ring to see if it was missing a stone. The answer was that the big black guy wasn't a suspect either. Next, Dragon looked at each of the men in the championship photo to see if there was a ruby missing from their rings. But even after all the people in the photo had been drawn, there was no suspect for the dolphin theft. That night, the owner of the dolphin football team suddenly jumped to his death. Dragon and Matisha went to the owner's office. On the wall of the group photo, they found a player they had never seen before. Matisha said his name was Finkel, and he'd only been on the team for 2 years. He was on the team the first year when they won the championship, but the next year, he missed a key kick and the Dolphins lost. The second year, he missed a key kick and the Dolphins lost. So Finkel was kicked off the Dolphins. Willow asked Matisse if this Finkel had won a championship. That means Finkel has a championship ring. Dragon traveled all the way to Finkel's house and found out from his parents. Finkel had been hospitalized in a mental institution years ago due to psychological stress. Finkel blamed another player, Tom, for the Dolphins' loss. Dragon called Matisse. He called Matisse to get the police to protect Tom, the retired player. But the police were too late. Tom was in the middle of a commercial when he was kidnapped. Then Dragon found Matisse to help him. He asked Matisha to put himself in a mental hospital and disguised himself as a mental patient. Dragon sneaked into the archives and found an old newspaper with a note on it. He found an old newspaper with a missing girl who liked to hike. The name of this missing girl was exactly the same as the female sergeant of his own police station. However, when the family dog lay down on the file, the dog's hair put long hair on Finkel's picture. It looks surprisingly similar to the policewoman. The female sheriff is Finkel in disguise. Or maybe Finkel had a sex change operation. Finkel escaped from the mental hospital and came back under the name of the missing female sheriff. Then he infiltrated the police station and worked his way up to the position of sergeant so that he could use his power to take revenge. The next day, when he saw the policewoman going out, Dragon followed her in his car and saw her drive to a hidden marina. The missing retired football player, Tom, was kidnapped here, and the stolen dolphin mascot, Snowflake, was also here. When the kidnappers came to feed the dolphins, Dragon threw a big hook and knocked them out. Then he came to the kidnapped Tom like a secret agent. The female sheriff controlled Dragon with her gun and called the police force. Said he found the kidnapped dolphin and Tom. The mastermind behind the scene is Pet Detective Dragon. When the police arrived, they found Dragon struggling with the sheriff. Dragon tried to pull out the wig of the policewoman and told the police. He asked the police officers if she was the real murderer who was dressed as a woman. Tom behind him suddenly said that the sheriff hid his penis behind his back. The truth that the sheriff was a cross-dresser was finally revealed. In the end, Dragon took off from Ed's ring to check it. A ruby was missing from the ring. The man who stole the dolphin and killed the team owner. The murderer who kidnapped the retired player Tom. This is the same Finkel who pretended to be a female sheriff. The real female sheriff disappeared 8 years ago. Thanks to Dragon's tireless efforts, the case was finally solved. The team's mascot, Snowflake the dolphin, returned to the pool.